Well, it would seem that a lot can change for the worse in just a few months or even just a couple weeks. Yeah, so if you didn't remember XDefiant, it seems like it's been around for a long time now, and that's because it was, of course, in beta for a while. But this officially launched in May of this year, so it's only been out for about 4 months now. Yeah, this is, of course, the Ubisoft flagship COD killer, so to speak. The idea of it is phenomenal. You take different IPs within Ubisoft and you make them different classes in the game, all the while making it a fun first-person shooter, arena-based shooting experience, very similar to Call of Duty. But here's the thing, this game launched 4 months ago, and now we've been hearing some mixed reviews as of recent, like maybe in the last month or two. Obviously, when the game really launched, like day one, it was extremely popular. It couldn't have come at a better time. I mean, May is, of course, kind of the mid part of the Call of Duty cycle. It's about halfway between when Call of Duties are released, and of course, as of recent, Call of Duty hasn't been doing the best. A lot of people think Modern Warfare 3 is terrible, one of the worst CODs ever. So a lot of people had a lot of love initially for XDefiant, especially during the honeymoon phase. But now that's over, so like I said, just kind of recently, I've been hearing mixed stuff about this game. This game's dead, this game's alive, this game's not very good, this game's amazing. Yeah, a lot of different conflicting reports. But here's the thing, on September 17th, so this was just 12 days ago, Ubisoft released a blog post where it was basically a sort of roadmap for their upcoming Season 2. And during this blog post, they actually confronted the idea that XDefiant is kind of going downhill, it's dying. They said, no, the game is doing great, there's nothing to worry about. Now keep in mind, I believe these were just XDefiant devs, like the team specifically working on XDefiant. I don't think these were actually like Ubisoft execs. But still, the sentiment overall was, hey, XDefiant is doing great, no need to worry. So that was September 17th. Now fast forward a week to September 24th, that's just 5 days ago. They released Season 2 of XDefiant, and now 5 days later, September 29th, things are way different. The CEO of Ubisoft, Yves Guillemot, he basically came out in a recent trading call update and he addressed certain games, mainly the new Star Wars game. He talked about how that did not meet expectations. Overall, he talked about how Ubisoft has lowered its next quarter revenue projections. Yeah, the projections have been lowered by 30% now. A lot of this can be attributed to Star Wars as well as the upcoming Assassin's Creed game. Now, he was asked if there were other games, other IPs that contributed to this as well. And he stated, quote, it mainly reflects softer sales for Star Wars Outlaws, but he also said we also had lower expectations for XDefiant, which he then says that they will elaborate on later in October, which is next month. Yeah, that's a ton different than how things seem to be in that blog post just like 2 weeks ago. Now, this could actually fall in line with an article that I actually saw, and I'm seeing it was actually exactly a month ago now, August 29th. This was on Insider Gaming. Now, this is just a rumor, but the article actually talked about how allegedly there are inside sources at Ubisoft that say that XDefiant is on borrowed time and that they have until the end of Season 3 to basically do better, with sales and everything with the game. And apparently, if they can't get better by then, if they can't straighten things up, then the game will not have any more post-launch support. Ubisoft will basically pull the plug on it. Now, given that Season 1 lasted about 4 months and Season 2 just started, I would say that that means that if this rumor is true, we've got about 8 months from now, which would be May of 2025, before XDefiant's time runs out, unless they can change things up, they can make things really turn around. It is kind of weird to just be talking about a rumor here, but obviously with the context that we have now just learned today from the CEO of Ubisoft himself basically saying that they have lowered their expectations on XDefiant's future now, I don't think it's crazy to actually believe this rumor from a month ago. Call of Duty themselves, Activision, I'm sure they're definitely excited and happy about what is going on, because I really do think that XDefiant had a lot going for it, and I'll say still has a lot going for it. But now it would seem that they're kind of just staying at a steady 20,000 concurrent players, which is way lower than what it used to be. The game is rumored to be announced soon that they're going to have a Steam launch. Now that could really up the player count, but even that by itself, would that be enough to really pump a lot of energy into this game? I don't know. Unfortunately, this is another thing, yet another thing that Ubisoft is adding to its list of recent struggles, recent hardships. Obviously, this is just coming from, the CEO saying 1 or 2 sentences about XDefiant, but still, you can get a lot from it. Them lowering their future expectations of XDefiant does not look good for the future of the game once known as the COD killer. I don't know if it will be a COD killer anymore.